Hello.
Hey, Bonnie Lynn Perez.
Yes, it is.
How are you? How are you? You're a photographer and an artist from LA, correct?
That's correct.
How did you end
How
up in
are you?
LA? We're good. We're good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
How long have you been doing photography for?
Oh, photography. I studied film and acting in Florida for a couple of years prior to coming out here, and then I really picked it up at about 2013.
Okay. Wow. So that's been a while. So I would say you're established at this point, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I have a pretty secure following, and the people that do follow me or the people that do respect my work are people that are in the industry, which, I mean, honestly, I like that everyone likes my work, but it's nice when you get that feedback from people that
Yeah.
are in the industry. So, yeah, but it's been a journey because, it takes time.
How would you describe your photography? Like, what do you normally try to capture?
I honestly, I photograph downtown Los Angeles. I live down here, and it's always fascinated me, the people, the energy, the creativity. So I do what I call film or street filming. So I film as it plays out. So nothing's poised. I don't try to embarrass anyone, obviously, and I'm right on the street just taking pictures.
Cool. Is it a hard line of work? Is it a hard line of work, and is it a hard line of work for a female?
It, hard in what you mean, like physically hard, or
Well, that or just to break in to get established in.
I think that if you have talent, eventually you're going to be seen, right? This is funny because I started out filming and I'm by myself, right? So I used to take out my big cameras, right? And, you really can't do that downtown in certain areas, especially if you're a female and you're by yourself. You might lose your equipment, So I started using my iPhone, right? Because it's indiscreet and it's, people wouldn't know that, and I wasn't trying to get their attention. I wanted natural, live, in the moment photography. So I found out that worked a little bit better, and from that it developed. And now you have a whole slew of people that are saying, "Yeah, I use my cell phone," and da 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 da. But I was doing it back when it wasn't really considered cool, and I got put down a lot for it. But it's okay.
Wow, yeah. Oh my God, I never thought of that. Like there was a time that was looked down on.
Yeah. Now it's like this thing. But when I was doing it, people were like, "Oh, what kind of camera do you use?" And I said, "Well, I have such and such cameras at home, but I don't use them out on the street." And I really feel like too, you lose a little bit when you're posed and you've got your great big camera out or your whatever, and you lose a little bit of the creativity because people honestly don't really like to be filmed. When they're about their day, kind of thing.
That's
so
what I was
you
gonna
lose
ask.
the natural.
I was gonna ask if anyone ever came at you, like you were taking pictures, and anyone ever attacked you.
When I first got here, that's kind of funny because when I first got here, I obviously didn't know that much about the city. I grew up in Detroit, so I had some street sense about me. But I've been chased. I've been chased by all kinds of people that I was in the wrong place at the wrong time kind of situation. I didn't know any better. Wow. I wear workout clothes now when I go out because if I have to run, I'm ready. I'm totally ready. I've been chased by hobos, get on my street. Oh God, so yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I would imagine that would be something that would just be part of the job.
Yeah. I've got film of me running. This is funny. I've got film and I it was in the moment and I got chased and I'm like running and it was on video and I'm running trying to get away from a desperate situation because I was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
That would be a great blooper clip, just you running.
Yeah. At the moment, I was like, "What did I just do?" So now it's kind of like I know, certain alleys you don't go down there, Bonnie Lynn, or just things like that. And now that I've been here for a while, people know me on the streets. They might not know that I'm taking pictures. I really don't try to take people's faces, because I don't want them compromised. And a lot of people know me. You know you live downtown when the homeless people know you and they nod at you like, "Hello." Hi. No.
See you again.
Hey, Bonnie. Yeah, they're calling you by name. What do you work independently or mostly, or do you work for like freelance, or do you work for a publication?
I've had my stuff publicized. I mean, sometimes people have taken it right off of my Instagram. They liked it so much. And other people have contacted me and said, hey, they're using that, film, da, da, da. And I said, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, It's not the end of the world. I work independent. I work for myself. It's about creativity, creative form. I haven't even put myself out there to, like, get a job.
Wow.
In this.
Oh, wow. So, does it pay the bills?
No, not yet.
Okay, that's what I didn't know.
Not yet. But I'm also a writer, and I have a couple of screenplays that I'm, for movies that I'm working on that I really hope will pay the bills big time.
Cool,
so,
yeah. What else do you do, like, to pay the bills?
Well, I'm a registered nurse.
I thought so. I saw you're a psychologist, correct?
No, I'm not a psychologist. I have a clinical degree in psychology, but I didn't pursue it.
Okay.
I know clinically I don't pursue it because it's just my husband died suddenly, and I just feel like I need to work through my stuff before I sit down and try to help anyone else out.
Wow.
But I do have that educational background, and I have worked in the hospital setting, in the acute care setting with people that are in crisis.
Wow. Okay. Wow. That's a lot, Bonnie. When did your husband die? Was it while you did photography, or was it before?
No, I picked it up after he passed away. Like he passed, and then I started doing travel nursing, and I just picked up the camera one day, and I started taking like these long walks because it's like, my husband died suddenly, and really no one can really help you with it. If you haven't gone through something like that, you don't really understand how it feels. And I just had to work through it. So I would go for these long walks, and then I would just take these pictures, and it progressed from there.
Wow. And I saw too, you do almost like an abstract art type of thing with your photography.
I do.
Right?
I take the film, and I take it down all the way to like a pencil drawing, and then I use graphic art to build it back up. So I call it like film art, but it's photography right from the street that I've made into like a graphic piece or an art. It could be just my vision of it, what I'm seeing.
Okay, that's cool. And is that something you do? Like you said, do you do it on a program, or do you? Like...
Yeah, I do it on my computer.
Cool.
Do it on my computer.
That's awesome.
Yeah, a lot of things like if I attend an event, which I haven't been doing too much lately, I will post it live on Instagram for the kids and the people that can't attend. And that stuff, it's live feed, so I don't do anything to it. It's just right there.
Okay, cool. And you go by the Last Pirate, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What does that mean to you, the Last Pirate?
When I was a little kid, I always wanted to be a pirate and see the world and get out there. And I used to like climb the highest trees that I could. I was, in Michigan, and like pretend, as the trees swayed, I pretend like I was on, in the ocean, and like I was a pirate, and I could run and go and do and see. Because to me, that's what pirates. As a kid, that's what pirates. That's the impression. Like they were carefree. They went where they wanted to
see
go.
the world. So, yes. So that's your way of being that. That's awesome. That is so cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
No problem. As an artist, what is your biggest struggle in life?
I don't. You know what? Honestly, I don't really have a struggle. Like, it's not something that. If it was a struggle, let's put it this way: if it was something that I was struggling with or giving me a hard time, I wouldn't do it.
Cool.
Absolutely wouldn't do it.
I like that. Like, yeah, it's something that should be fun and seen as something exciting. That's why I didn't know. I didn't know if because we interviewed a guy not too long ago. He was a filmmaker who did a documentary called Somewhere in the Middle, and it followed the life of some just artists, and it talked about just them struggling. So I didn't know if you had anything like that, because there were some guys that didn't know. They didn't know whether they were even gonna make money that year. It was like, it was rough.
Yeah, see, and I have the good fortune of a fantastic education, and I didn't really know how creative I was until my husband died. It sounds like it's funny, but in a way, if he hadn't died, I wouldn't have discovered all this stuff about me because, I was so much into the partner thing. So, I have the good fortune of having a very good living, so I don't have the stress of that. But I do know people that struggle.
Yeah.
And for me personally, I if it's that, I don't know. I just feel like, that you have to follow your passion, and they're doing that, and I admire that too.
That's cool. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's the best way. I like kind of what you got going though. You got your full-time gig, and then you do that.
Mm-hmm.
You do that, and you're also recognized, like you said. That's very cool. Very cool.
But that's been a process too. The recognition or whatever. The people that I've had Academy Award-winning directors.
Bonnie.
Like flexing a little bit and like bragging, and I don't mean it that way but it didn't start out that way. Do you know what I mean?
We didn't catch what your phone cut out, I think, so we didn't catch everything.
I'm sorry. Well, I'm sorry. I was just saying that the creative process of it's been a process, and it didn't start out that I was getting recognition for a while, nothing, and you just got to stick with it. I only work 3 days as a nurse, so I have extra time.
Okay, cool. What do you have any upcoming projects you could tell us about? Like you talk about your films, would you be able to tell us about any, or is that something you don't want to divulge?
Screenplays, the storylines. I'm not going to expand on that.
Yeah.
But I also write. I do short stories. I write gothic horror. I write erotic gothic horror, and I have a website. And I post stories. Those do quite well.
Cool.
What is erotic gothic horror?
Just that. It's more or less like I have a couple of stories. The suicide room, and that it's not about suicide at all. It's just the title, and it's about just this girl that encounters an evil spirit who wants to destroy her, but he wants to do it on a sexual level.
Destroy that pussy.
Wow.
Or that butthole.
Because no, my first thought was like, oh, so it's like vampire sex. Right?
That's
so
what I thought. I honestly
that's why I asked. That's why I was like, well, let me ask first.
It's more or less good and evil, but it's based on sexuality. And the guy's called the Beast, which is that's kind of funny. But he gets off on destroying people. He wants to destroy her innocence. He comes across her and he sees her as a challenge. Because the story opens up that he's literally murdering this woman sexually. He kills her sexually. So.
How do you kill somebody sexually? I'm sorry, I'm just
choking.
Yes, you have to read the story. You'll find out.
Yeah.
All I'm thinking about, I think I brought this up before on the show, is like, you ever see there was this horror film? I think it was, I don't know when it came out, but it was called Jack Frost, and it came at similar to the same time as yes. There's another movie called Jack Frost, but there's a horror film called Jack Frost, and it was about this killer snowman. It was a serial killer who becomes a snowman. And he rapes the girl to death. He puts his carrot.
Yes.
Yeah, he puts his carrot on where his dick should be and kills her.
That's hardcore. This is more or less like this guy. He kind of like preys on people that are starving emotionally.
Oh, okay.
He goes after women that are like emotionally needy, and he uses that against them and destroys them.
Right. So he's destroying them to the point where they end up committing suicide. Is it more like that?
No, he kills them.
Oh. Okay.
Oh wow. That sounds great.
No carrots involved, though.
No carrots. Hashtag no carrots.
Just evil intention.
Hashtag no carrots.
Actually, I love carrots.
I love the baby carrots. The babies, they're good.
Oh, baby carrots.
Oh shit. Oh, goddamn.
Yeah, so the link, I think the link to my blog or my story blog or picture blog is there. So you can find it there. It's Suicide Room, Honor to the Beast or whatever, and it's in series of sections. And actually, when I first released that, it did very well. People were like, "When's the next episode coming out?" So
do people pay for that?
No.
Okay.
No. It was a way to get my writing out there.
Yeah.
And I don't just write. Yeah, I just don't write gothic, erotic horror. But it was a way, to.
I feel like
that was the story I was writing.
I feel like if I excelled at it, I would just keep pumping them out. I would keep doing carrot porn.
Oh, I have others. I have others that are there. So, but they're not carrots. They're not carrots, but almost as good.
Sex crazed carrot.
Yeah, sexcrazecarrot.com.
Carrot.
Veggie sex.
Yeah. So I mean, I have this whole creative flow. I'm either it goes in waves. Like a lot of times I edit every day, film work and this, that, and the other. But the stories and the creative writing, it kind of ebbs and flows, this, that, and the other. So
yeah. Bonnie, were you also a military veteran?
Yeah, I did that.
Wow, that's just a crazy thing to I feel fall into everything else. Like, how did that happen?
I grew up in Detroit. We were really poor, and I raised my little brother and my little sister. I dropped out of school when I was 14, and I took 2 full-time jobs, and I finished my education up at night, right? And so then when they got to be of age, 18, and they could take care of themselves, I joined the Army. Because there was no way and no one to pay for my education.
Wow. What did you serve? What branch did you serve in?
I went into the Army. That's funny, because, physically I'm not very, I'm not I'm strong, but I'm not very big. And everybody kept saying, "What are you doing here?" And I said, "I'm in the Army." And they would take pictures
that was
of me,
adorable.
I was just going to say, did anyone else say that was adorable? I was like, that's adorable.
Yeah, I just, it was hard for me because, again, I wasn't physically strong, and you need to be. It's really tough. And so, yeah. It was funny.
How long did you serve?
Well, I have almost 4 years active, and then the rest was reserved. So altogether, I think it's 12.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That's cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I definitely admire that. That's something that's very cool.
I had fun though, because I like guns, I like weapons, I like fighting, So I kind of fit right in there,
The warrior instinct.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome. Oh, where can everybody find you, Bonnie?
What's that?
Where can everybody find you?
What do you mean, find me?
Find you on social media, on your website, all that.
Oh, okay. All right. So Instagram, Los Angeles Creative Film Art, or if you look under Bonnie Lynn, it's there. And then obviously Twitter, where you guys found me.
Yes.
And then there's Bonnie Lynn photo blog, and that's where you would find a lot of my other pictures, because it's a photo blog. But it's also where my stories are. I have just so many stories up there.
Awesome. What are the stories about? Is that life stories?
Some of them are life stories, and then others, like I said, are the horror, erotic stories. And I have a couple, more than a couple of those up there.
Okay, cool. And on Twitter again, you're at The Last Pirate LA, correct?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for talking to us, Bonnie. It's been a blast.
Oh, you're very welcome. You're very, very welcome. Thank you for asking me.
Absolutely. We will talk to you soon. I'll send you
all right, thank you.
No problem. Thank you. I will send you all the links to the show when it goes up. And hopefully
all right, thank you.
There won't be any charges pressed.
Okay, and enjoy your carrots. Okay, I gotta go.